Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're going to be ranking the best shooting guards on NBA 2K24 MyTEAM here on this tier list. Before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 14,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, and I would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Without further ado, let's hop right into it. Starting off with Mitch Richmond, who is a decent but not amazing shooting guard option. We got about 30 cards on this list, so Mitch Richmond, I would say, is around the 10th or 15th best of those 30. Don't think he's incredible. I don't think he's bad. He's not an elite level defender. He's a very good shooter. Release is good, not unbelievable, but pretty good, I would say. He shoots the ball very well, has decent speed, not an incredible defender, can dunk okay, does have handles for days, but doesn't have any sort of speed booster. Defensively isn't great. He's pretty okay. B tier. Allen Houston is back of A or top of B. He's not bad. 6'6" with a 6'9" wingspan, money release, 82 speed, high enough ball handle to get timing bursts. Defensively, he's bad, and he doesn't dunk the ball very well, but offensively, he actually creates pretty okay. Release is really, really nice. I think he's better than Mitch Richmond, and I do like the card a lot, so I put him A tier. Anthony Edwards, not Anthony Richardson. That's the Colts quarterback. 6'4" with a 6'9" wingspan. Really, really short. He just keeps shrinking, it seems like. I feel like Anthony Edwards is like 6'5", 6'6", but he's listed at 6'4" now. But 85 speed and excel, 81 shot three, 85 driving dunk, 83 perimeter, 83 lateral quickness. He's a decent all-around card, but not insane in any specific area. His release is also a bit slow, which is a bit of a flaw, and I don't think he has a high enough ball handle. Well, he does actually have a high enough ball handle timing burst, so that is good, but I think high B for him. This Brad Beal card is bad. I'm not sure he's worst 5 cards on this. I think he's worst 5 cards on this list bad. He's really bad. Bradley Beal is not a good card at all. He's got what? Like mid 70 speed, horrible defense, not even that great of a shooter, doesn't have limitless range. Shooting matches are okay, but he does have an 84 driving dunk, I guess, but he's also really small. He is not a good card at all. Now, Brandon Roy is an amazing card. S tier shooting guard, probably the best shooting guard in the game right now. Incredibly complete, can get every badge upgraded and added. He is an absolute elite option at the shooting guard position. Bruce Bowen is one of the best shooting guards in my team, by the way. This card is a dog. 6'7", 6'10" wingspan. In terms of pure 3 and D, you can play him with the 3 as well, and he's going to be just as good at the 3. 85 shot 3, really, really good versatile defense with a high interior as well. He catches and shoots, and he defends. Does he create a shot? Is he going to dunk? Is he going to play make? No, but he's going to shoot and defend at an incredibly elite level, and that is enough for him to be pretty high on this list. I don't think Chris Mullin is very good. I think C tier is fair. I think shooting is valuable, but not when you don't do anything else well, and while he's an okay-ish perimeter defender, he's very slow. He doesn't really dunk, and his shot is not that great. He's not a great card. Clyde Drexler's an A tier shooting guard. He's like the 6th or 7th, 8th best shooting guard in the game. Not a bad option, not amazing. Shoots the ball well, has a good release, dunks the ball very effectively, defends pretty well, and has a big player ability. He's a solid card. Definitely a guy you can use, but not a truly elite shooting guard option. DeMar DeRozan, I think, is also, honestly, even B. I think DeMar is pretty bad. I'm not a fan of this card. I thought he was going to be good, but his release is not good this year. He's not a great shooter, and he's not a great defender either. He's super athletic and has good speed, but he doesn't even have a high enough ball handle to get a timing burst, so he doesn't burst very well, so his speed isn't very effective. And MJ dribble style is not as good as it was last year. He does not move very well. You have to still be able to have a high enough ball handle to timing burst, and he doesn't have that high of a ball handle to get the speed burst. Fade isn't insane. Release has been significantly nerfed this year. It's not nearly as good as it was in previous years. They changed his release. It's now more realistic, but it's not nearly as good. He's not that great. He's not terrible, but B tier is fair. Desmond Bane is an elite shooter who actually dribbles pretty well. Not incredible as an overall card, though. A bit undersized at only 6'5". It doesn't have a big player build. Short arms. Not fast. Mediocre defender. And not crazy athletic. Really good shooter with a nice release and actually dribbles pretty well, though. So he's a pretty okay card, but I think C tier is still fair. D-Book is S tier. One of the best offensive cards in the game. I think outside of Steph Curry, nobody gets a bucket easier than D-Book does. His fade is crazy. His release is amazing. His push cross because of his dribble style is really, really good. He's an absolute dog. One of the best options at the shooting guard position in the game. Comes off my bench and runs my offense through off my bench at shooting guard for me. Dylan Brooks is 3 and D. Not as good as Bruce Bowen, I would say 3 and D. He's still a very good defender, but I don't like his release quite as much. I still think he's good enough to be B tier, but I don't think he's an amazing card. Drazen Petrovic is awful. He does nothing good except for shoot, and he has one of the worst releases I've used this year. That card is horrific. Never use him, please. I don't care that he's an amethyst. He stinks. Duncan Robinson is a sharpshooter, like elite sharpshooter, at a level that only a couple cards in this game really are. That's good enough to get him decently high on the list. I think C still, because he doesn't do anything else besides shoot, and I guess he can dunk, but he's not fast, and he plays no defense at all. but I still think C tier is probably fair. Eddie Jones is at a very worst B tier. That card is really, really solid. One of the free cards that was in this perfect build handle set that came out yesterday. 80 speed and excel, defends pretty well, shoots well and dunks the ball well, has gold handles for days, which is big, some decent defensive badges, some key shooting badges like catch and shoot, corner specialist, has fast twitch, nice release, and debug dribble style, which means he's going to have the elite push cross. His fade is Pro 2 as well, which is a great fade, so he's actually going to be able to push cross into a fade really effectively, which is going to be a really effective way to score with him. I don't think he's quite A tier, but I think he's a good card. George Gervin is just always mid. That card is always mid. I feel like he's always supposed to be a do-it-all guy, and he's always a do-nothing-that-great guy. He doesn't shoot incredibly elite. He's not an amazing dunker. He's a mediocre at best defender, and he's got good speed, but his size is pretty good. He's but he's not great. Jamal Wilkes can't shoot, and he's like 6'5". I understand he can defend, but I think he's 6'5", right? Yeah, 6'6", and he can't shoot 54 3-ball. Don't use that card. J.R. Smith, not the best in the game, but pretty good. Release is a little bit on the slower end with JR, which is kind of annoying, but he's actually not a horrific defender. He's got decent size, good speed, good shooter, good dunker, great badges. Wish his release is a little faster, but I do think he's actually a very good card. I think Dr. J is S tier. He's top 3 shooting guard in the game, in my opinion. Really great release, helps to make up for the lower 3-ball rating, which is only at a 70, but he's super athletic and defends at a high level, and the afro makes him look really tall, especially since he's already listed at 6'7" this year instead of 6'6", which is really, really nice. Clay is an elite 3 and D, just like Bruce Bowen. He's very similar to Bruce Bowen. If Bruce is A, Clay is A. Bruce probably a slightly better defender. Clay slightly better offensively. Both of them okay, but not amazing. Kobe going to go high of C for me. Unfortunately, Kobe just doesn't have quite the good enough defensive stats. He's a good dunker, capable shooter, and has decent speed. Doesn't really have the playmaking badges, no bailout, no break start, no quick for or speed booster, no handles for days, no blow by. Defensively, he has a couple of badges, but not the keyest ones. He's okay, and his release is good. His animations are really nice, but Kobe right now is a truly elite and won't be for a little bit. I'm going to Kyle Korver's top of B. He's one of the most annoying cards in the game to play in Unlimited, but he's horrible on defense. He's super slow. He's a bad card in every way except for being maybe the best pure shooter in the game besides Steph Curry, and maybe even including Steph Curry. He shoots the ball like nobody else. It is obnoxious to play against. And he does have the Curry slide, but he's really bad in every other way, so I'm still going to stand on it. I'm going to put him in B tier. Latrell Sprewell kind of does it all. He's a really nice do-it-all type of shooting guard. Is he A tier, though? I mean, looking at the guys left on this list, I think he actually is. Pretty good card. I think Latrell kind of can do everything with decent speed, has a really nice release, defends pretty well, has some good defensive badges. He's a good card. I did gameplay with him last week or the week before whenever he came out, and he's a very impressive card. Luka's bad. I don't care that he's a diamond and that there's only 2 diamonds on this list, which are him and Brandon Roy. He is a bad card. Does not defend well. His size is good, but it's not elite like it would have been at point guard. He's slow, and he doesn't dunk the ball well. His shooting and playmaking badges are amazing, but he doesn't get speed booster. His SIGs aren't good. His release isn't good. He's not a good card. I understand he's a diamond and one of the most expensive cards in the game, but he's a C-tier card. Marcus Smart's one of the best budget cards in the game. Amazing release, elite defender, phenomenal all-around card. I don't have a ton to say about him, but I think he's back of A tier. ML Carr can shoot. Is he good as Kobe, though? No, probably not. He defends. He can kind of hit a wide-open 3. Okay. He defends and can hit a wide-open 3. That's basically it. Can dunk the ball okay as well, but he's not going to be a playmaker at all. No shooting, playmaking, or key finishing badges. Just basically defense, but he's not horrible enough to be D tier or anything. Reggie Lewis is actually okay, but he's got a much lower 3-ball than I thought he was going to be, which makes him pretty mediocre because he's got really good speed. He wasn't going to be an awful defender, and he dunks the ball pretty well, although not a great defender. But 59 3-ball is really, really low, and that hurts the card a lot, to the point where I'm actually going to put him down in D tier because we need a couple of D tier guys, and looking at these cards, there just aren't that many left. Sam Jones is an elite shooter, doesn't do a ton else, but really good release, fast enough as well with like 80 speed. Think he's good enough to go into the B tier with guys like Korver and Dylan Brooks and Mitch Richmond. S tier for T-Mac, S tier for Vince. Both of them, I think, are the back 2 guys in S tier, but I am going to put them both in S tier. Top 5 shooting guards. Athletic guys, both of them who dunk the ball really well. Capable shooters. T-Mac's release is really good. Vince's release is also very, very good as well. They're both super athletic. Neither of them are truly elite defenders, but they're okay. I think they're honestly pretty similar cards, T-Mac and Vince. And then finally, we have Wesley Matthews, who's just a 3 and D budget beast. Not quite to the level of the guys at A tier, in my opinion, but he is a card that I'm a big fan of, and I think he's an absolute budget beast at at the shooting guard position in my team as a 3-and-D guy. So that is going to do it for this shooting guard tier list. I know it's a little bit middle heavy, but I guess that's good. It's actually pretty even. So hopefully y'all did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.